Hello, Goobers! Hello, Shipsin! What do you mean I reminded you have work today? I swear to God. I swear to God. I'm not doing it on purpose. It's not my fault. You always work. Hi, Benyo. Hello. Okay, guys. Today, well, let me breathe in, breathe out, because I did 3 things at once before the stream. I started the stream, was like, okay, setting up everything. My mom calls me. I answer. I just chatting for a little bit. While I'm also trying to hang my laundry that just finished washing itself. I'm like, oh, it's too many things before my stream. Why do I always set it up so it's like right before my stream? I don't know. I should learn not to do that. But I mean, my mom calling me, I cannot really do much about that. But the rest is, she complains like, you always stream. I don't understand anything because it's in English. I was like, Mom, you're learning English on Duolingo. You should know at least half of the thing I'm talking about. The other half is about anime, so you will not understand it even in Polish. It doesn't matter. But yeah, today we have a yapping session about anime of winter season 2026. So if you missed out on any, then today is the day that I will be recommending it to you. From the poll, it so happened that apparently most of you preferred me to just like go through every anime individually and talk about it and recommend it to a specific group of the audience, like the specific audience that could enjoy it really. And that's what we're going to do today. There are 18, I think 18. Let me check. Yeah, 18 series that I've watched. Some of them are sequels, some of them are continuations of core 2, 3, 4, whatever, that kept ongoing. But I think like when you keep on watching something like that, and let's say you didn't start watching it when it started airing, but you still want to catch up to it, I can tell you if it's worth it or not, in my opinion. So I'm not going to say any spoilers for sequels. You don't have to worry about that. I'll try my best to talk about everything in detail. I need to give me a moment because I most definitely need to have a list of anime, just in case I'm forgetting about specific anime that I barely watched. Because even if I watched one episode, I want to let you know I didn't like it from the first episode already, because, you know, like, so I can do something like that. As long as I've experienced at least a little bit of the anime, I'll be talking about it. So, without further ado, because, you know, the beginning of the week, I hope you had a nice weekend. I did. SciFiCon was a fantastic experience, and honestly, it feels so surreal. When I woke up today, I was like, oh yeah, that happened. That's kind of surreal when you think about it. Meet and greets are a very unique experience for VTubers, so I'm very grateful for them, in fact, for giving me this opportunity, me and many others, so not only their talents, which I'm a part of now. I still need to get used to that. I'm still like, oh, wait, we actually wait. I'm actually part of it, but absolutely wonderful experience, I gotta say. And today I had to get back to work, but before I started working, I was like, well, I need to clean up my apartment finally because of Easter. Usually I clean it up the first Monday of the month, but because it was Easter, I didn't get to do it last Monday. And I was like, I tried to do it on Friday, then on Saturday, and it didn't work out. So I was like, okay, today we're actually cleaning up. I managed to do that. So I hope today was less productive for you, or at least you didn't have to clean up, because honestly, I don't really like cleaning up my apartment, but no one will do it for me, you know, so I gotta do this on my own. But that was everything I think that I wanted to say in the intro. I think maybe I have forgotten about something, probably did. It is what it is. Arama. I think I would, You know, I wanted to invite you also on Demipact's Discord, but I still need to write to people, to maybe my manager, to let them know that, hey, update me, because they have pings for all the talents when they're uploading something new or when they're streaming. So how they'll do that, so then you may, if you want, you may join their Discord. So we have like the Discord for the entire Demipact family. Let's call it like that. Okay, but that's all that I wanted to say in the introduction. So we're moving on to the anime, and the first one in list, I don't remember how I went with it. I just pasted it all the posters together. So I don't remember if there is a specific order in which there are. Finally! The pings? That's what you... Pings for streams? Yeah, but first, before I invite you, I will make sure that they're setting it up. I know on YouTube it's harder, but then again, you will have pings for other talents as well, unless they are working on something. I will ask them. I will make sure to ask them. Like, obviously, I will always encourage you to watch other Demipact members, but, you know, like, there are, like, 10 of us now, so it's a little bit hard to, you know, to watch everyone, but, you know, I think I will be the most spammy member of them all in the end, so... So most of the pings will be probably for me, but, okay. Now, starting off with Digimon Beat Break, which already started airing in fall 2025. So we already had, like, what I will be talking about is Core 2, of course, without spoilers. They should have some kind of premium. Premium for what? Shipsin. Premium for what? Yeah. So Digimon Beat Break, I think I talked about it last time. And I said it was pretty fun. I don't think in general this anime is like extremely above the expectations. At times it's very mediocre, and the biggest motivation I have for keep on watching Digimon Beat Break is Gekkomon, which is like absolutely adorable. Discord bot that was issued to set up alerts. Yeah. Oh, that's true. That's very much true. You're right. You're so right. I didn't think about it. But yeah, I'll ask about it and learn the specifics later on. So when it comes to Digimon Beat Break, the first core was very based on like introductions of the characters, giving us their backstory, trying to build a bond between them, although I gotta say the bond is not really that well built, unfortunately, when it comes to this series. I personally don't feel like they have much of a connections between each other. Like, I don't think their bonding moments were strong enough. It was more of oh, we're learning more about this character together with our protagonist, and we accept that, oh, that's why they are like that. But it doesn't really enclose their bonds in any way, so that was kind of like my issue with the first core. And another issue is that it tries to be more serious, but on the same time, the structure of this anime is very much a structure of your typical kids anime. So it tries to go in between like those two worlds, anime for kids and your usual anime for teens and adults and all above. Then everything working with YouTube was paywall. God damn it. YouTube, why? I mean, I don't know, what those apps, why? But then we have Core 2, and Core 2 introduces us to new characters that are our antagonists. And so we have like, let's say, like, we have more antagonists, but we have like 3 core antagonists plus their leader. And of course, every single character is there to resonate with one of our protagonists, one of the team's characters. So, you know, they can balance each other out. So this one character will kind of get to know that antagonist, then this one, that antagonist, and, you know, each of them get their own antagonist in a way, but it's not in a way that, oh, we are rivals, other than protagonist, the main character, and his let's say, rival. Yeah, this is a true rivalry, but the rest is more like, oh, I don't understand why you're doing that. Oh, now I have an episode to learn why you're doing that, and we're kind of friends, but not really, because we're still on enemy teams and all of that. It's not too bad. I feel sometimes they try to make something very dramatic, and it ends up feeling a little bit overly edgy. But I would say action-wise, second cour was much more enjoyable. It did have some slower moments, but overall, I think there were like more episodes that got me engaged into the story and felt like it starts to get like more of a structure. I have a hard time to catch up with Digimon. I'm not liking any character by now, apart of Gekomon. That's probably the biggest problem, is that the characters aren't exactly that likable. Like, I feel like their personalities are lacking. Each of them, like, we have our main character, the one in purple, who's like a little bit edgy. And then we have like this boy in yellowish green, who is like a kind guy and very polite and all of that, and kind of nerdy. And then we have this girl who is more boisterous and everything, but because they're not very well shaped, it's really hard to like any of them above just tolerating, basically. And their leader isn't that much charming either. So that's probably the biggest problem of Digimon, like, overall, to continue watching it. And then you have to get dedicated, because it's going to be like, what, 49 episodes or 51, something like that, from what I remember. So personally, it's hard for me to recommend it. It's like, if you didn't start watching from the beginning, it will be hard for you to catch up to so many episodes, I feel like. Unless you're a huge Digimon fan, then it's probably one of those entries that you just want to watch, because there are a lot of Digimons that appeared in card games, in different kind of games. Some of the Digimons look the same. I don't exactly know how, like, how it works in Digimon world, but you can see designs of Digimon that you can know from different series or like different games from the franchise. So maybe that's enjoyable for you, but personally I'm getting a little bit bored. I think I'm like 5 episodes behind or 4 episodes behind. So technically I finished watching, like, I feel like I stopped watching the moment the opening changed, because like I've heard that there is a new opening, but I didn't hear the new opening, so I feel like I froze the moment where it was the end of like the let's say first half, maybe, possibly. You love geckos, you can tank rest of story. Yeah, I mean, Gekomon is definitely adorable, and if you want to at least like get a glimpse of how he is, I would encourage you to check out a few episodes, but to check out the entire series, to all like 25 episodes we have so far, or I don't know how many, it would be a little bit hard, I feel like. I wish it went more edgy. I wish it went to darker theme. I wish it gave up on this kids anime structure entirely from the very beginning, and then I might have enjoyed it much more. But unfortunately, it's very cliche. You've always been a Pokemon kid. Hi, nerd. Hello. It's long time no see, and hi, Portion. I always preferred Digimon when it came to anime. I think, like, just from cuteness of characters, Pokemon all the way. But Pokemon didn't really have, for so long, it didn't really have any interesting plot other than in movies. Movies are great. Pokemon movies are great. But beyond the movies, it was Pokemon, like, were kind of boring. Digimon, on the other hand, when you watch Digimon Adventure specifically, it was so much better. It's like one of the first isekais that I've watched. Although, was it an isekai? Well, they did get like teleported to another world, so I guess they weren't reincarnated there, but they were in an entirely different world. So personally, I'm more of a Digimon fan when it comes to like series itself, but this one is a little bit boring. this one's a little bit boring, unfortunately. I'm considering dropping it because honestly, to catch up to 4 episodes or 5 episodes, it's absolutely hard. And the only anime that I'm doing it for is Detective Conan, only because Detective Conan has like above 1,000 episodes, and I'm already like, you know, I invested so much time that I keep on watching it. But yeah, Digimon, unfortunately, for Digimon fans, probably a cool rendition. For long-time fans, probably something that they can check out. But for newcomers, if they wanted to start with like watching Digimon, I would recommend you watch Digimon Adventures, the old anime, and just that, and you'll probably enjoy it more than Digimon Beat Break, unfortunately. So moving on, the only thing I know about Digimon is that they get guns when they evolve, I think. And that's true, yes, this is, a lot of people see it as a meme, like, you know, you have a cute dinosaur, and then this dinosaur gets like some kind of like shield or a mask or something like that. And then on another evolution, it suddenly has like a machine gun or something like that. Yes, that's very much true. Don't we all, though, music? No. That is true, that is true. Then we have Kamen Rider, or Tojima Kanzaburo, or something like that, wants to be a Kamen Rider. Wait, let me get it from... I don't remember the entire title. Wait, let me get that. Tojima wants to be a Kamen Rider. I think that was the English title. Where the hell is it? My list is incredibly... Tojima Tanzaburo wa Kamen Rider ni naritai. About this anime. Genuinely one of the best action comedy anime that came out in 2025 and finished airing in winter 2026. First core was fun. First core was absolutely fun, joyous, fantastic. The comedy was great, and the only moments where I wasn't really that fond of it was when there was like a perverted high schooler that was a student of one of the characters. But I told everyone, he's only episodic. He will disappear after 1 or 2 episodes, and I was right. And the moment he disappeared, everything got so much better. It was amazing. And even though further episodes introduced us to many more characters, none of them felt like it's way too overwhelming for you. I felt like sometimes it was even good that they introduced us to a character that's not connected yet and is about to get connected to one of the characters that are tied to the main plot, because it let us take a breath from this ridiculousness of our protagonist and the other 3 of delusional people, and to get to yet another delusional person, but delusional in an entirely different way. That's why I feel like second core in some ways was better than the first one. I definitely enjoyed myself better because we had those breaks in between. The first core was all about introduction to the main 4, why they are such a Kamen Rider freaks and all of that, and introducing us to a villain. Second core was like expanding on villains, expanding on characters, and introducing us to some side characters that maybe are not that important, but they show us how bizarre this entire universe is. It's not like only our protagonists or 4 characters are that crazy. No, there are people who don't even have to like Kamen Rider and they're still kind of like weird as heck. Yeah, I almost dropped because of it, but that would be my biggest mistake in life. You see Sheepskin, it's thanks to me. You're very much welcome. Genuinely one of the best soundtracks of 2025. If you love Teddy Loin, what are you doing? Go check it out immediately. Both opening and ending included to that track, although personally I'm not that fond of the opening for some reason. I feel like it loses me on some parts and I cannot enjoy it as a full song. But a soundtrack, my god, I am tackle lives rent-free in my brain. What is this anime about? Because I didn't say anything about it. I didn't say anything about Digimon really, so I feel bad now, but I will fix my mistake in here. when it comes to Digimon, it's about the story of a boy who, for some reason, like because of Digimon, he loses his brother, and suddenly he gets a Digimon. It's not something normal in this universe to own a Digimon, yeah, he finds a way to make because his brother is kind of in a coma, so he's looking for a way to awaken him from this coma, and he needs like a e-pulse of his brother that has been stolen by another Digimon, and that's why he joins the group, and they do that. So that's the plot of Digimon. I'm sorry that I didn't say that before. The plot of Kamen Rider, or Tojima wants to be a Kamen Rider, is that we have a protagonist who loves Kamen Rider. He adores him, like he keeps on collecting all the merch, only to later on sell it because he feels like it's wasted on him and other fans should enjoy it more. But then one day he learns that the villains of Kamen Rider's story, Shocker, that he's real. And suddenly he's like, oh my god, they're real. And then at one fated day, he puts on the mask from like a festival stand. It's just like a plastic mask. And he's like, I will become Kamen Rider for real this time. And he still starts fighting with Shockers. And then later on, we have more characters like him who believes that there are Kamen Riders or characters from Kamen Rider from different seasons and all of that. And they together create this bizarre team of delusional people who wants to beat Shocker and like the monsters that lead those armies just because, like, you know, this is what it means to be a Kamen Rider, to protect people, to fight Shocker. So that's basically the entire plot. I love both, but ending visually, so the ending is my favorite. Might need to listen to it. If you like kind of like, would you call it kind of like dubstep? I don't know if I can call it dubstep, but it does have this dubstep kind of vibe. This, I don't even know how to call it, this kind of genre. I'm not the best when it comes to explaining the music. But absolutely, if you don't even like watch anime, but you like those kind of a very dynamic, hyper music, you should check it out. I personally, for a long time, used soundtrack to do a workout sessions. They're perfect. They're perfect for that. Sounds a little like a fever dream, low-key, in a good way. It is a fever dream. It is a fever dream for our protagonist as well, and the characters that are next to him, because like every time we have character that may look a little bit normal, apparently they are kind of a freak as well. We have some side stories that still are important in a way. Which is crazy, really. It's fun. It's very fun to watch. I wouldn't say the animation itself is that good, but it's not bad either. Don't get me wrong. Like, it's just not something that you'll be like, oh my god, this is like peak animation now. But it still holds itself very, very solid to everything that's happening on screen. It's a great show at auto-parody. Exactly, yes, exactly. Who can I recommend Kamen Rider to? Absolutely anyone, unless you're very, you don't like big boobs. Because, like, the art style of this show, they make boobs look like two bouncy balls. They're very round. It's not like they're going down, like, in a natural way, close to the body. No, there's like two balls glued into your chest. So if you maybe like, I don't think it's like extremely fan service. Yes, there are fan service moments, absolutely, I'm not going to deny that, but I feel like the fan service here is comedic enough that me personally, it didn't bother me. The only annoying part was, as I said before, the one high schooler that was kind of perverted, but once again, he was like for 1, 2, or maximum 3 episodes, and then he disappeared and everything was cool and great. It has one of the best tournament arcs ever. You will not expect the outcome of the tournament, I can promise you that. The training arc was great as well, so the cover looks really retro. I think this is intentional because Kamen Rider itself, it's a show. It's a show that was airing in Japan. It's still airing, I think, in Japan. It just like has sequels after sequel after sequel. I'm not sure though, because I didn't watch much of Kamen Rider. like the legit show, because like this anime is based on a legit show. Kamen Rider character is a character that was from and still is from a Japanese TV show. That's why I feel like them going for retro stylistics was a choice that they made while thinking through it. Fan service is comedy too, yes, absolutely. I think in Japan it's maybe adding to parody. Probably. I don't think it... I mean, it is definitely part of like their sense of humor. That's definitely true. It's a very... you could say it's a little bit outdated sense of humor, but I feel like there is a group of people that still laugh at those jokes, so they keep on doing that. Hello, another cakeless. Not having bought a cake, chat. What is this anime? This is Tojima Wants to Be a Kamen Rider. Actually, I'm interested now. I would say after first episode you should not be discouraged. Only when the female character, Tackle, when she comes up, and it's not her fault, it's the fault of like one of her students, it may be a little bit annoying. But for the rest, you should enjoy yourself. If you go through those 3 or 2 episodes when you have this high schooler character, if you just ignore him completely and keep on going, you should not be disappointed. Kamen Rider, another clear your ears because you have some hearing issues. So yeah, I would recommend it to anyone really who likes having fun while watching anime, who is like... Because I know some people don't like comedy anime, and I can understand that because a lot of comedy anime are just not funny. But this is kind of a comedy that's actually fun to watch. So as long as you like comedy anime and you also like a little bit of an action, you don't mind the parody, because this parody is not like the simplest parody ever. I think it's playing their cards very smart when it comes to like parody sphere. So yeah, I highly encourage you to watch it. I'm sick and runny nose. I will forgive you this one time another, but you gotta get better. So I hope you have some tea with lemon and honey to get healthier, or I don't know what kind of tricks do you have to get healthy quickly and get rid of the sickness. So this one of the strongest from today's list. Absolutely encourage you to catch up to it. It's 24 episodes. There were 2 cores and both of them are amazing. I would say the further it went, I still had fun. There was not a moment where I was like, and now it's getting kind of boring. There was no such a moment. So you should be able to watch it, no problem. You don't like tea? Well, sometimes you have to drink something you don't like. I don't care. This one is still ongoing. But let me grab a title because I genuinely do not remember the title. Yusha no Kuzu. I only watched 1 episode. Scam of the Brave in English. But as I said, I'm going to insert anime that I've watched only 1 episode of, just to tell you why I watched only 1 episode. I mean, I'm slowly already getting better. Oh, that's good to hear. How can you not like tea? I mean, a lot of people don't like tea. Tokusatsu Gaga is a good one. If you like Sentai or Kamen Rider, wait, get her. Let me grab that because you got me interested. You got me interested, my dude. Yusha no Kuzu will have to wait because I need to check what's that. I don't even recognize. Oh, it's a manga. It's a manga. Okay. But it feels like more of a slice of life. I don't know. I'll add it to the plan to read list. It's just harder for me to read manga recently, but I'll check it out. The anxiety of buying anime merch on your own and making up the gift for the fake nephew excuse. You have something like that? I don't think I've ever been embarrassed about purchasing anime merch. I guess I was so shameless that I never I never cared about it. But then again, I feel like Like, who's going to judge me, really? Those people with boring hobbies? That's on them, not on me. I mean, I also only drink tea when I'm sick, but I don't dislike it. Coffee kind of sucks though, yeah. You see, as many people, so many opinions. When it comes to Yusha no Kuzu, the concept, I don't remember the concept exactly, but it was like a world of heroes, and the main guy in the orange coat helped the girl with sparkly eyes. And she was like, oh, take me as your apprentice or something like that, because you're a hero and I need to save someone, so please teach me how to be stronger. So from my explanation already you can hear that it's very generic kind of shonen-esque story. It honestly surprises me that it got 2 cours, one after the other, because I have not seen anyone talking about this anime. Would you go buy a Deku figure without shame now? I wouldn't buy it because I don't want any more Hero Academia merch. But do I feel embarrassed that I used to buy Hero Academia merch? I feel like it was slightly a waste of money, and I'm trying to sell my Funko Pops, that's for sure, but I enjoyed them while I have them. I still will have at least one Deku figure, I gotta say. The cute little one, Funko Pop, that he's in like All Might onesie is absolutely adorable. I still believe that. So no. But also, most of the merch right now you buy online because there's just like wider choice than on, like, you know, if you went to a store or something like that. And on a convention everyone is buying it, so it's not like you're unique or something like that. I drink water, pear juice, milk, beer, and wine. Only pear juice, not other juice. That's a very specific choice. I can respect that. So yeah, Kuzu no Yusha, Yusha no Kuzu. Wait, I keep on Yusha no Kuzu. It was just way too generic. The characters were like copy paste of the characters you've already seen. It wasn't anything extremely bad after one episode, but it didn't get me with anything. Like, the characters weren't unique enough to get to me. The story from the first episode didn't get me intrigued to keep on watching. The opening was pretty mediocre. It had a moment when I thought, oh, maybe it's going to be a banger, but then it's like laid flat, and I was very much disappointed. It was just like a little bit of nothing that a lot of people just ignored it. If you're a huge fan of your very much generic shonen-esque anime, I guess this is maybe something for you. If you also don't mind one adult guy and teenage girls running around him, because I know some people get annoyed at this kind of trope. It depends at how it's written. I either am annoyed at it or not. In this case, I didn't even learn because like it felt too boring for me to continue. So genuinely hard to recommend when I only watched one episode. But well, maybe if you really like generic shonens, then you can check it out. Other than that, I don't see any reason for you to try watching this anime. I like pear juice. What's wrong with it, huh? No, it's just the fact that you just said, oh, all different kinds of juice. No, you were specifically only pear juice. Like, you don't... It read as if you do not drink any other juice, you know? Your grandma buys it for you every time. That's absolutely adorable. Hi, Asya. Hello. Another invited you to watch me. Aww, thank you, another. Thank you, Asya, for joining. I hope you'll enjoy yourself, and welcome, welcome. Hi, I'm Aikeji, and I love anime. The most generic introduction. I love anime. I do, though. I do. I really do. I do love fictional stories in general, but anime holds a special place in my heart. Absolutely. So, yeah, Yusha no Kuzu, cannot say anything more. Wouldn't recommend it really unless you, for some reason, collect all the shonen-like anime, then go check it out. Maybe it's for you. I wouldn't know because I didn't watch it. Because I do not drink other type of juice, only pear juice. Wow, wow, that's a dedication. Now we have Trigun Stargaze, a sequel to Trigun Stampede, a remake of very beloved and quite old series under the title Trigun. It does have the same elements as the original Trigun, but it goes onto a very much different direction. Grape juice is almost wine. Don't say that, because like I like grape juice, but I hate wine. So about Trigun Stampede, I was very excited to see Trigun Stampede because I loved original Trigun. I loved its vibe of like you know, science fiction. Is it science fiction? Like space opera western vibe, like those two worlds connected. I thought it was fun, and it's a unique way to build a universe around those kind of two things. When you think of western stuff, you think of older history, but then you put it in space and you have a space opera, and suddenly it's like, wow, it's kind of badass and cool. So I was wondering what they're going to do with Trigun Stampede. And on one hand, I enjoyed it. On the other, I felt like something is lacking. Like the vibes that I got from the original weren't there at all. And I did not expect it to be the exact same. I didn't want it to be the same. It just, I feel like it was lacking some sort of consistency with characters. I feel like the episodes felt too individual from themselves instead of creating one full story. It jumped back and forth to other different topics, and sometimes those topics came back, those characters came back, but you felt like it's not consistent in what it's doing. That's not dedication, it's autism and routine. I call it dedication for it to sound a little bit better, you know, but if you want to call it this way, then absolutely. I was driving while listening. Comment, yeah, peak Digimon's meet for me. The last one bad. This ain't watched. Nice, nice. Wine is like expired grape juice to me. Yeah, and because it's expired, it already loses all the charm for me. That's what I mean. Ayo. Trigun was kinda odd in how jarringly it changed its tone in the later part, but it's a great classic either way. Just can give a bit of whiplash. Hi, Navire. Hi. Get her new studios. They tend to favor stimulation over consistency when animating. That's very much true. I did listen to Trash Taste podcast when they were talking about with a guy from Studio Orange who was working on Trigun, and they said like, oh, first 3 episodes matters and that's it. Overall, I still enjoyed season 1, so Trigun Stampede. I felt the ending was kind of weak, personally, and I felt like it could have been made more emotional, because like the build-up, the core was there, it lost me at some points. And then we have Trigun Stargaze that starts off in such an awkward place and adds characters that I don't really care about. Like, I love Millie, but in here I feel like Millie was so random. Like, they didn't connect her in any way. And suddenly, the 4 from this the poster, so we have Vash, we have Wolfwood, Millie, and my god, I keep forgetting her name. Why am I forgetting her name? Like, let me grab her name. My god, I keep on... Meryl. And Meryl, like, they're suddenly best friends, but I feel like it has not been built up in first season between the 3. And then, I mean, the relationship between Vash and Wolfwood, fine. Between Vash and Meryl, fine. But between the 3 of them together, it wasn't really that existent in the first season. And then in second season, they all act like they're all already friends, and Millie just appeared. She barely knows them, but she's already also assigned as a friend. And also, their meeting, like once they get back together, it was so awkward. I felt like it should have been more emotional. Everything. It's just like, you know, they thought Vash was gone, like they didn't know where he is, and then they find him, and it's such a lukewarm reaction to all of that. it was just strange to watch it. The action sequences was still really cool. The music was wonderful. The saxophone soundtrack, mwah. But the whole story was being thrown left and right and left and right, and I didn't even know what I'm supposed to expect from this story. I didn't even know what the story was. Like, sure, we have Million's knives and he's in this tube and he's doing things, or rather the things are being done to him, only to reach the finale already. Like, I felt like it was so freaking rushed that I just couldn't wrap my mind around it. I just didn't bother with it after the first episode because of Vash's new haircut. Oh, it was fixed later on though. I'll be put on a cross, but even Kemono Friends was more entertaining. Wow, wow, that's a okay. That's strong words coming from you, but I'm not going to argue because I did not watch Kemono Friends. And I gotta say, it was hard for me to watch Trigun Stargaze. I wasn't entertained at all, and only the soundtrack and just the will to finish this anime kept me going. What's the plot in this one? In this one, they first of all they look for Vash. Then they know Million's Knives is still kind of like after Earth and wants to destroy humanity, so they want to stop him, but at the same time they're running away from him, but then they're still looking for a way to defeat him, so they fight against the soldiers of Million's Knives. I'm going to simplify it by calling them this way. Only for him to finally like almost destroy the world, but then they come to an understanding and we get a happy ending with, and that's about it. There's even like there's no specific plot. The plot is to stop Knives, Million's Knives, which is Vash's brother. This is not a spoiler. From destroying the humanity, because he hates humanity, because they did a bad thing and he knew about this bad thing, and that's why in the end he appears to be misunderstood villain and all of that, and it's very lukewarm. Could I recommend it to anyone? Honestly, I would rather recommend original Trigun to people. This one, it's not harmful in any way, but I feel like you'll get bored even in first season. Because first season was very uneven as well. Like, there were episodes that was like, oh, that's cool. But then there were episodes that were like, oh no, that's boring. I would say for 3D animation, they did a very good job at animating, at making all different kinds of like funny facial expressions. That's definitely a strong part of Trigun. Another strong point, once again, I can say is music. I mean, when I say music, I'm talking about soundtrack, because honestly, opening from the second season kind of sucks. The ending though is pretty cute. So yeah, if someone has not watched Stampede, I don't think you would want to watch the sequel really. And for those who wanted to catch up someday, I don't think it's worth it. I personally don't think it's worth it. You will enjoy yourself much more watching the original Trigun or even reading the manga. This one is just, unfortunately, you know, an anime to make cool fighting scenes, and that's about it. But I feel even the fighting scenes weren't as good as in first season. So that's it. Bye bye Trigun. Now we have Champignon no Majo, or Champignon Witch. I wish Oden just went back to adapting Hoseki no Kuni. We need more jewel drama. I still need to watch or read Hoseki no Kuni. I really need to do that because I've heard only good things, but it's just, I don't know, it's always in the back of my mind. But to catch up to anime that already came out is hard when you still want to keep on watching the new animes. But this is definitely on my pile of shame anime, so there will be a day. There will be a day where I'll catch up to that. They all look nice and cool. Sadly, I'm more into rom-coms. Well, that will not be for you. Ooh, we're in France. We're not in France exactly, but we're in Fairy Tail. Hoseki no Kuni is very good. Yeah, you see another one who says it's good. I've only ever heard good things about Hoseki no Kuni. I've never heard anyone criticizing this anime or saying it's bad or it's boring. Both anime and manga are worth checking out. I know the anime is not finished, right? Like, manga is, I believe, finished already? So that's the advantage you have manga over anime, but I'll have to check it out at some point. So Champignon Nomado or Champignon Witch is a story, fairy tale-esque story about a witch called Luna who finds a prince or prince-looking guy in a river nearby, and she decides to take care of him despite all the other witches being against it because he's a white witch and he also is apparently like fated to bring demise to the world or something like that, more or less. I don't remember exactly. So what you need to know about this story is like we have our main character Luna, who is like this black witch, and in this universe you have black witches and white witches. Black witches are usually all about like curses, and they're not exactly like evil, but everyone looks at them like they're evil, even though they don't do anything wrong really. They just I feel like they cannot they get weaker if they get like they are loved. So somehow when they're hated, they're stronger. And then they have white witches that everyone loves because they're pure and white and nice. Racist, I know. I know, this anime is about racism actually. I peeked into the manga and oof, the story just gets heavier and heavier. When it comes to Hoseki no Kuni, right? Shroom Sweet has nice 2 first episode and I was sleeping while watching it. Yeah, that's the thing. It starts off pretty nicely. We have we get introduced to the character Luna, and we see that people hate her, and they think her mushrooms are cursed because when she's walking through the town, the shrooms are growing behind her, but they're not growing poisonous. They're actually absorbing the poison created from like negative feelings from people. So she's not bad, she's actually purifying this way the town. But of course townfolk doesn't understand that and they ignore her or even like call her names, or they just hate her. And the only reason why she's like coming there is to purify but also bring medicine, because she also makes medicine for those hateful people. And she goes to library to like get herself some books and all of that. But overall she doesn't really have friends other than like her animal companions, that is like a sheep and a cow, little cow creatures. And then she meets a guy who is the only guy who apparently like is not afraid of her, and he falls in love with her kind of while she's drawing him, because when she's drawing him she kind of like puts him to life as a drawing, and he gets those memories of the drawing. So even though it was not him exactly, it was kind of his soul. But because apparently when she's doing it, she is making him weaker and weaker, she has to stop doing that, and she wipes off his memories, so he forgets that he fell in love with her, and well, she's saddened by that. But then she meets, like she finds this blonde-haired guy by the river, and the witches come in saying no, we need to kill him or something like that, and she's like no, I will train him so he will have his emotions under control, so he will not bring demise to our world or whatever. And for some reason the prince gets smaller, but he still has like a heart, kind of like he's not aware that he should be bigger. He feels like something is wrong, but he still falls in love with her even though he's just a kid. You know, and like the entire anime is about them just doing things like cooking, going to the city, and it's like the plot is not moving anywhere forward. Like there are moments when he's losing control and then some witch appear and say, oh, you see it's bad, and then you get a random backstory about another witch who apparently was a friend of Luna, which we barely know. That's why we get one entire episode of a flashback for her. It's utter trash, honestly, when it comes to like the plot. It's non-existent really. Hoseki no Kuni, okay. Despite making up 5% of the witch population. So overall it started off pretty nice, as I said, like, because the love story, it was very pretty, it was adorable, it gave me this vibe of, oh, this is such a nice fairy tale kind of vibe, which we don't get that much recently, because usually fantasy equals isekai, reincarnation bullshit, so to get something that's not like that, it's fun. But this one, it baits you with first 2 episodes, but then it's like about nothing really. Daily life of a boy who falls in love with a witch that looks older than him, even though they're technically the same age, but he's not aware of that. She's aware of that, but she cannot tell him that. And they just do stuff, and he's always like tries to control his emotions every single episode, and sometimes it's extended, like one topic is extended to 2 episodes, so it's so boring to watch. I would love to recommend it to people who love like fairy tale vibes and romance and all of that, but it's too boring to recommend it. Honestly, don't get any closer to this anime because it's boring. It's just boring, unfortunately. It has a lot of cool designs. It has a cool concept overall, but it gets lost with non-existent plot. It's just like too boring to follow. Those characters aren't interesting enough for you to want to keep on watching. Because like, even though like I don't dislike any of the characters, maybe other than the cow. The cow was kind of annoying, not gonna lie. But like, I cannot even recommend it to you because nothing is happening in this anime, basically. Hakumei to Mikochi, aka everyone's favorite alcoholic, is a good one. You're sending out like some older ones, Getter. I'm trying, like, I'm focusing, like, to be clear, we're talking about anime from previous season. Just, I think I've seen this one, but I did not watch it. The art style looks kind of like Made in Abyss rendition. I don't know if I would be... Why are they all so chibi? I guess that's the universe. Like, they're dwarves. Oh, only a few inches tall. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, okay. Grand Blue also good alcoholic anime. Yeah! Actually, Grand Blue is my favorite when it comes to alcoholics. Absolutely agree with that. And so unfortunately, I wouldn't recommend it to anyone because you will just get bored watching it. First of all, like, first 2 episodes will make you feel like, oh, maybe it's going to be great, and then it drops down crazily. I barely managed to watch it till the end. And now we have... I'm an alcoholic. You too, guys. No! 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 Don't encourage yourself. I'm literally drinking beer right now. My god, another. My god. I have alcoholics. I'm here sitting with my nice black tea and you're drinking beer. Really? You know what? I would prefer that pear juice. But it is what it is. Fine. Drink whatever you want. As long as you're sober enough to write the way that I can read it, I'm fine with it. Hell yeah, cheers. I guess I have to start making streams of like anonymous alcoholic meetings or something like that for you guys. Now we have Eris no Seihai, the Holy Grail of Eris. Someone from this chat said the manga was fun. I don't remember who that was. If you're here, admit that you were the one who told me to check it out. Another what? Fixing your runny nose. I mean, any fluid would do that. Because then you have like more water, so it pours out, like it clogs out easier. It doesn't have to be particularly beer, man. Immediately admitting, this is a mediocre anime. And the only reason why I kept on watching it was because they baited me with the romance. I was like, okay, now we have some romances here. Okay, well, now you got my attention. It was like, jingle, jingle, Aikeji, look, a romantic moment. Keep on watching, jingle, jingle. But me likey beer, fine, drink your beer. I knew after 2 episodes. Okay, but yeah, I kept on watching it. Fair enough. I gotta say, even though it was mediocre, I wasn't exactly like bored. Like in comparison to in comparison to Champignon no Majo, this one was like full-on blast ride. Because it actually had like a consistent story. The story about is we have our protagonist. Wait, let me grab the names because of course I do not remember any single name. We have Constance Grail, our protagonist, our blonde-haired protagonist, who meets a ghost of Scarlett Castiel. She doesn't know she's a ghost. She's like randomly inviting her to a party as if she like couldn't get in on her own. But then your usual thing happened, and her Constance's fiance is cheating on her with some skunk. And this skunk, it tries to put it all on Constance, and she's all lost and all. And then the ghost of Scarlett is like, oh, I will help you if you help me. It's like, okay, help me, please. And she helps her, and she disses, like, she gaslights everyone at the party into thinking that it's not Constance's fault. It wasn't her fault, but she does it in, like, a very gaslighting manner. And then, in return, Constance is supposed to help her find the true, like, why Scarlett has been sentenced to death in the first place, because she has been sentenced because of the crime she did not commit. So they're looking for the true culprit, and as they're looking for the true culprit, they reveal that there is yet another plot against the kingdom happening, and they try to, basically a detective story with a ghost and the girl. And then somehow, like, Constance gets engaged to Randolph, who is like a general of the army, police, something like that. And like together they start working together, and they try to uncover the whole secret against the mysterious thing called Holy Grail of Ares. And that's the entire plot. So they're going back and forth. They're looking for any hint of how they can find the true culprit behind Scarlett's wrongdoings that she didn't do. And so then in the end, like, the plot thickens and more things are happening. The biggest issue I had with it is just, it's not that interesting. It's not that interesting. For a detective story, it's not that interesting. Is it something that, oh yeah, I know where this plot is going? Not exactly. I think the mystery itself is good enough. I feel like by the end they started to add things just to explain it quickly, to wrap it up faster. But maybe it's better. I mean, I'd rather have it wrapped up faster than go for 24 episodes and get bored in the second half of this show. So yeah, some things were just dropped by the very end of the story to make things work, and by the end we have a happy ending and all of that, so that's nice, I guess. Who I would recommend it to, if you're an enthusiast of mediocre stories and you like your detective stories or mystery stories, I think that's a pretty good show. It's just, you can watch so many other shows that are much better than this one, but I think like the characters weren't really annoying. I feel like all of them were built strongly enough to accept their personalities and not get frustrated with their choices. They try to be very logical, but also have some heart to it. The art style is okay-ish. The animation sometimes was lacking, and the faces looked a little bit deformed in some of the scenes, but other than that it was fine as well. Opening was nice, the ending I do not remember. The soundtrack wasn't recognizable enough for me to say anything good or bad about it. To be fair, it's good to watch something bad to understand what makes something bad in the first place. I wouldn't say it's bad, I would say it's mediocre. And in not just like, it's mid, because I feel like when you say it's mid, you're basically saying it's bad. No. I think it's mediocre in a way. It's like, you can watch it, you will get a solid story. I mean, solid in a way, like, it makes sense, but you will forget about it. It's a forgettable story. It has a little bit too many characters. Some of the characters just appear randomly and solve issues for others, which this was probably the worst part of it all. I just didn't like it that, oh yeah, we'll need a character when, well then we're just going to drop your character that you need at this point. After the already scheduled streams, the next one is Alcoholic Anonymous stream. What do you... Yeah, no. You know what? I'll find you a stream like that so I don't have to do it on my own because we're tight on schedule, another. We're very tight on schedule. Okay, I'm sorry, but I can't unseen how the MC on that picture is brutally mogged. Yeah, that's what I said. That's the art style is not delivering itself that well. I gotta say this much. So that was Holy Grail of Ares. Moving on to the next one, which is, oh my god, playing death games to put food on the table. In Japanese, it was, let me grab that, Shibuyugi de Meshi wo Kuu. First episode was 1 hour long, and I remember we talked about first episode quite throughoutly during one of my drawing sessions, and it sounded very insane when we talked about it. I do remember that. What is it about? This is about the story about a girl who wants to beat 100 death games. Death games meaning, you know, like Hunger Games, Squid Games kind of type of thing. Because in this universe, the young girls, yeah, I would say young by teenage and up to like young adults. At least that's how they look like. They're taking part of all sorts of Hunger Games kind of things where they have to survive and reach the end to win the game. And it's not like there's only one winner, there can be more winners if you're smart about it. And there are all different type of games, different type of challenges. Every game can look a little bit different, so you never know what exactly to expect. And like in this universe, once again, those girls take part of it for all different kinds of reasons. As the title says, some of them just take part of it to earn money. 1 hour long. First episode was 1 hour long, and I gotta say, the first 20 minutes of it was tedious. Art style, very unique, very nice. I love the stylistics, concepts of it. Soundtrack, very demure. It works pretty well with the theme of the story. And then we get to the scenario, and that's where, unfortunately, the anime kind of lost me. Our protagonist, I wouldn't say she's the most enjoyable character to follow. She's your almost typical kudere with moments of badass, I guess, and that's why I'm not really fond of her. It's not like she has no emotions whatsoever. She does show her emotions here and there. She gets moved by death of other characters here and there, but overall, she's pretty stable. She's a little bit too overpowered. She has too much of plot armor for me to enjoy her fully, to the point where I kind of cheered more on antagonist than on her because she started annoying me at some parts of the story. The challenges themselves, like the concepts for death games, amazing. The concept of blood not being shown and instead you see a wool, fun, amazing, cool. The fact that even though they may lose a limb, they still can get a prosthetic as long as you get the parts of the body back, great. But the fact that we technically do not understand why she wants to beat 100 games, why she's doing it exactly, and they don't tell us that, is kind of weird. Then you have those kind of jumps that are very, how to call them? Half was good, half was meat for me. Hope plot go a little different way. It's like, aha, I was pretending to lose all this time type of situation. No. It's more of like, I almost lost, but then I get an opportunity to win last minute. And I think that's the most annoying thing. It's like, oh yeah, she could have lost, but then last minute she suddenly like manages to win. And this was a little bit annoying for me personally. I don't know if I thought it would go a different way. I wish it could go more into mentality of characters. And we do get quite a lot of characters shown through mentality. And I really like the concept of the ending where our character kind of because at the very beginning it's a great build-up that we learn that our character, our main character, she always like recites all the girls that died on those games that she took part of, to like remember them, to keep memory of them, and it builds up pretty well through time. But other than that, the rest of the things are kind of empty, and I feel like they didn't build up the concept of those girls struggling strongly enough for me to buy that entirely. And apparently there's going to be a second season, which is a little bit insane for me, because I feel like because they didn't create good enough structure for this anime, it feels empty. It feels pretentious to some point, to a certain extent. It's like random things are happening. They're not happening in a chronological order either, which is nothing wrong with that. But I feel like the lack of chronology doesn't really add anything to the experience. You know, if it was for a reason, the chronological order is messed up, I would be like, okay, that's fine. But it's just randomly put out like that for shits and giggles, really, because it doesn't really matter by the end of the story of the first season. So, can I recommend it? You can check out the first episode, but I will warn you, first 20 minutes are very slow, very boring to follow. Then the rest of the episode was pretty enjoyable, pretty intriguing, but this intrigue will get lost the further we're getting. You will understand that this intrigue that has been built up will not be expanded, and you will get the same thing over and over again, just replace the characters other than the main character. And I felt like it was a shame. It had so much potential, but this potential got lost. Good that they add scenes numbers, that way I knew when the episode will end. Absolutely. So yeah, you can check it out. I'm not going to discourage you. I think even watching one episode for like stylistics only is great, but I'm warning you, the further it goes, the more charm it loses, unfortunately, and you realize this is just an empty shell that looks very beautiful on the outside, but on the inside it doesn't offer you anything. There are like a little bit of shards of something sparkly and nice, and you can appreciate that, but it's only it's only like an inch of a sparkle, and the rest is pretty blunt. Unfortunately. Then we have the Dragon King's daughter is too kind, which I've watched not the entire full episode, but I was like, you know what? I'll add it. What the heck? I will add it. The story is about Mao no Musume wa Yasashi Sugiru. About a daughter of a demon lord who is all bad and evil, right? But he's worrying because his daughter is way too wholesome and sweet and kind. So he hires one of his, I guess, greatest soldiers or assassins, this woman in purple, blonde woman in purple, to teach the ways of evil to his daughter. But of course his daughter does not understand that, and she thinks she's getting a babysitter, and she plays like hide and seek with her, and she stresses over because, oh my god, I lost the daughter of the Demon King, I'm done. And basically the first half of the first episode is them playing hide and seek, even though one is not aware she's playing hide and seek. And then the daughter of Demon Lord is doing something nice to other people and creatures and all of that. Yeah. That's the entire plot. It's like, I only talked about first episode, but that's the entire plot for the rest of the show, basically. This is the kind of show that doesn't really move forward and is focusing on one joke, which is, oh, she's a demon lord's daughter, but she's so adorable and nice and kind, so she's a total opposite of what she should be. And that's all that is happening in the entire anime. In this anime, daughter songs was the best. Oh yeah, she was singing a very cutesy song when she was like doing the hide and seek game. So that was kind of cute. But you know, if you like cutesy stuff and you've watched all the other cute anime and this is the last one that you haven't seen yet, go for it. You know what? It's not harmful in any way. It's pretty harmless, but the thing is that this is just one joke type thing, and it's just, you know, every episode you have another character that the Demon Lord's daughter is helping, and she's like giving them adorable smile, and you're supposed to go ah every freaking scene, and there's no depth in this kind of anime. Is it bad that those kind of anime exist? No, not at all. But if you prefer to watch anime with an actual plot, that's not going to be for you. I think I watched like 4 episodes, and yeah, maybe someday while drunk we'll watch till the end. Why till went drunk? Oh my god. I just feel like we have so many other QC anime that are way more fun than this one that you don't have to watch it, but if you're a cutesy type of anime enthusiast, then this is for you. I cannot say anything more because I only watched 1 episode, and I don't think I've even finished the episode, so I just skipped it through after the second half. So let's move on to the Hero Academia Vigilante Season 2. Did it have any specific title? Vigilante Boku no Hero Academia Illegal Season, second season. Yeah. My Hero Academia Vigilante Season 2, exactly. So it's a season 2, and you may wonder, Aikeji, weren't you so done with Hero Academia? I was, but I also said on one stream, and I even made a clip out of that, that one thing that Hero Academia did good was to create this side story that's much more enjoyable. That's a prequel to our main story. Is it still enjoyable? Absolutely. Yeah, I had fun watching it. And even though I feel like some parts of the story weren't as enjoyable as in the first season, I still like following those characters. I love how we get to see Aizawa's backstory. This one almost made me tear up, almost. I hold myself strong. It was hard, but it almost got me. Because one of the characters dies, and I don't know, this character charmed me from the moment they appeared, and it was such a shame. The villain of this season is much weaker than the villain of the first season, I feel like, because the first season was kind of connected to... I mean, it's still connected to one of the characters, but it's more of a side story than the main story. Technically, it's the main story, but we don't see him much in action. He's working from the shadows. And even though in the first season we had the similar thing, we still had, like, the final fight in first season was better than final fight. We can call it final fight in second season. Still, I feel like how they build characters, how they... wrote them, how they followed the plot was still very much enjoyable. The story is about the guy who didn't get into heroing school because he didn't get on time for the exams, and now he's just doing like heroism as a vigilante in All Might's hoodie, being called the Crawler or the Crawman. However, they always mess up his name. And with that, he somehow, you know, gets into a mess of some kind of like villains that are working more under the shadows, so bigger heroes don't exactly follow them. And the similar thing happens in the second season, because in the first season we have like one villain is like get rid of, then on second season introduces us to entirely different villain, still connected to one of the characters who does not play that big of a role that he played in the first season. And we get extra backstory of Aizawa, who is one of the main characters, I don't know, one of the core characters from Hero Academia. So probably the second season is more enjoyable for fans of Hero Academia main story, because you have more characters from main story. For me, it's maybe a little bit less enjoyable because of that, because I prefer Koichi. I prefer the characters that are introduced in this season. Yeah. What more can I say to encourage you to watch that? I don't know, if you like hero shows, or if you are disappointed at what direction Hero Academia went to, then I wouldn't say Vigilantes will disappoint you. It did not disappoint me till the end when I was reading manga. I enjoyed it way more because it's not written by Horikoshi. That's why it's better. Hi P, hello. That's why I can actually recommend that, because it's not written or drawn by Horikoshi, so it's made like kind of with his approval, but by different people. Yeah, and it still holds to like it's like kind of like 7 or 8 out of 10 kind of anime, where you can enjoy yourself, you can giggle a little, you can see cool action. and then you feel satisfied while watching like one episode or so. You may tear up maybe as well, because there are sad moments. So yeah, pretty fun. The opening unfortunately wasn't as good as the first one. Kochi no Kento didn't get to make second season's opening, which is such a shame because I love the first opening. The ending I also don't remember that well. The soundtrack is just like in Hero Academia, so if you like Hero Academia soundtrack, which is pretty solid, I gotta say, this one is very similar, so you should enjoy it as well. Jadugar? Eh? Eh? What do you mean P? That was it. Moving on to... Okay, the title. I definitely don't remember the title of this one. Toumei otoko to ningen onna, sono uchi fufu ni naru futari. The Invisible Man and his soon-to-be wife. That's the title. Yeah, there we go. I saw episode 1 of Daemon of the Shadow Realm. You give me English titles and I need to Google them because... Oh, Yomi no Tsugai! Okay, Yomi no Tsugai. I forget this is the English title. Oh my god, I'm sorry. I did watch 2 episodes of Yomi no Tsugai and it's fun and enjoyable. But today we're talking about, unfortunately, today we're talking about anime that finished airing in winter season. I mean, you can write about it. I don't mind it. I will read it in between. Just, I'm not going to give my opinion on Yomi no Tsugai right now because I'm focusing on that. But you can. Mega wholesome romance. It was wholesome, but at the same time, so the story is about, it's within the title, about Invisible Man and his soon-to-be wife who is blind. Because, like, you know, he's an invisible man, so he struggles with people not being able to see him, or when he wants to get freaky with his partner, it's kind of awkward because they don't know where he will touch them because, you know, he's invisible. So it's kind of scary. But then we have a blind girl, so she doesn't mind that at all because she doesn't see anything. So for her, the invisible man is every single man, you know, and woman and character. So they live in this different kind of universe where you have those kind of supernatural humans and furries as well. We have another side plot. What I'm saying right now is what I know from Twitter, because apparently this one got quite popular with clipping. The guy in the green, he has a male partner, and yeah, the furry gal definitely is into humans. So you stand a chance, guys. You would have stood a chance with her. It's all I'm going to say. Yeah, this was your classic wholesome romance. It's just, I feel like for me the pacing was too slow and it was too tame, and you're like, you know, if you like rom-coms and you don't require too much of comedy in this rom-com and you like to get some wholesomeness, this is a show for you, absolutely. I don't think it was bad per se. I just knew that I would probably get bored watching it after some time because it would be too repetitive for me. I think it's good that they work on like the concept of the guy being invisible and what kind of things could have made them struggle being like that in the world where other characters aren't like that. So Man with Green Blouse gave me Ziggy. I mean, yeah, he was such a gram. That's true. That's very much true. That's very much true. So yeah, if you're into that, that's probably an anime for you. For me personally, I like my wholesome anime, but I prefer when there's a little bit more spice to them than only wholesomeness. And you could say, well, there were spicy moments, like there were like very freaky shots in there, but that's not what I mean by spice. By spice I mean like something interesting happening, not the schmexy time. So yeah, be warned, because there are some moments where I feel like the animation studio was thirsty for this invisible man. I'm gonna tell you, and the furry woman as well. So yeah, that's a fair warning for you guys in here. That was it. I think it may have been one of those a little bit above mediocre shows that you could watch and you could enjoy. You will remember, like, you will probably not remember it after some years, but It is what it is. Then we go to Tamon-kun's B-side. Tamon-kun Imabdochi. Tamon's B-side. Okay, I'm messing up. Now that a lot of sites use English titles, I do this kind of creepy-ass chimera between the two titles, and I mix them up in the way that that it just I create my own title. This anime is about, give me the characters because I don't remember the name. Kinoshita Utage, a huge fan of one of the boys band's idol, Tamon, and he's her god. She has like shit tons of merch. Her entire room is pink because of the guy, and like posters everywhere, pins everywhere. She records all of the videos with him. She reads, you know, like, oh no. She's all of that. And also to get money for all this merch, she has to earn the money somehow, right? So she's basically working for this kind of cleaning company. And lo and behold, one day, one of the women who are cleaning up for Tamon is sick, so she is coming there. She's not aware that she's going to Tamon's room, or apartment rather. And she realized, oh my god, I have to clean up for my idol. But she's a very demure girl, and she believes that Tamon is God. So therefore, even though obviously she loves him as a fan, she should not go beyond the sphere of being a fan, because this would be unfair, because there are other fans, and Tamon-kun is for everyone and not for singular person. So she's stubborn as a mole, even though it's very clear that she's falling in love with him, obviously. And you know, like that's one part of the story, and the other part of the story is like she thinks that, oh, he's all the idol kind of guy, but the truth is he has a different side of him, and this different side is a depressed teenager who's scared of everything, extremely introverted, also partially yandere for some reason. And she learns this true side of his, but somehow manages to help him out through his struggles as an idol, while he slowly falls in love with her, and she, who is already in love with him but is in denial because the only love she can give him is a love of fun, because otherwise it would be very unfair for other fans. Yeah, they struggle with that. And then we have other characters, because of course it's a boys band, so we have 4 more characters, and each and every one of them have kind of like different side of himself. So one is absolute you know, hater of fun girls. The other one is just rude and mean. One is an otaku, which is my favorite character, because honestly, valid. And one who looks cutesy and all, but he's a drunkard and loves to gamble and all of that. Okay, as a person who does not like K-pop boys band very much, I can say first 2 episodes were good. When the next guy joined, I was like, why? Also, the fan service moments were cringy to me. Anyway, the teacher plot was nice, but overall mid-mid. I would say it was quite enjoyable. For me personally, I'm not into boys bands that much. I'm not into K-pop at all. There was like an element of this show that made me entertained enough, but I feel like unfortunately the plot is the most cliche plot you can get. Like you know where this is going, you know what like path the characters will choose. Yes, there were a lot of cringy moments, I will agree. Genuinely, I watched till the end because I really wanted to see more scenes with the nerdy guy. Unfortunately, he had only one scene really, because his plot of the story didn't get to this anime, so I was like, why? My favorite guy, you can see, look. He's my soulmate, guys! He's my soulmate! I saw him in those glasses, I'm like, oh my god. Like, before I even knew he's a nerd, before I even noticed he's a nerd, I was like, this one is going to be my favorite. If I were to choose my favorite, if I were to be a fan of one of them, it would be this guy. And then I learned he's a fucking nerd, I'm like, oh my god. Oh my god. The brown-haired guy was cool. The black-haired guy is the most generic, cliche kind of love rival you can ever get. And the cutesy guy was okay. I feel like his backstory was like kind of like very... I still did not get why this girl got mad at him. I mean, I could get that, but I feel like she overacted so much. I mean, she apologized for that later on. That's a spoiler, but I didn't mind that at all. But it was like kind of weird because like, oh, they argued and they both were at fault. But then it's like, it was like unexplained why she overreacted this strongly. So that lost me a little bit. But overall, I don't know, it was pretty enjoyable. Yes, the further it went, the less entertained I was, I gotta admit. The first episodes definitely were more fun for me, but the further it went, the more repetitive it got, and I was like, we've seen that before, we've had that before. We're running around with the same jokes over and over again, and that was probably the weakest point of that. So would I recommend it? Yeah, if you like rom-coms. If you like rom-coms and you don't mind it being very, very cliche and very obvious to where it's going, watch it. The art style is amazing. I gotta say the animation was top tier. Maybe like the 3D, I mean the 3D wasn't the worst and it was only for the concert, so you can kind of like close an eye and pretend you didn't see that if you don't like it that much. I don't think it was like very triggering for me personally. But yeah, it's there just to mention it. The characters were fine. I don't think they were that bad, even though like they're absolutely cliche. But that was about it. Okay, how could he be not nerd with those glasses? What do you mean? Like, this is the guy. This is the guy when he does not wear the glasses. This is the guy when he's wearing the glasses. You see the difference? And he loves his anime waifu. I could get along with him just fine. Okay, moving on. Moving on to... I can only talk about this anime because just recently I watched the first episode, which was an hour long. So I can say more about Yusha Ken Nishosu, Choubatsu Yusha Kyusen Yontai Keimu Kiroku. Or, thankfully, with easier title in English, Sentenced to be a Hero. Sentenced to be a Hero is a story of a guy who has been sentenced to be a hero. And you may think, oh, why is it bad that he's sentenced to be a hero? Aren't heroes good? In this universe, being a hero is basically the worst sentence you could get. Because hero then have to fight, and he has to fight, he gets reincarnated, he needs to keep on fighting. And so our hero randomly approaches, or like he gets randomly approached by the goddess, the blonde-haired girl who's acting a little bit like a paimon or something like that. It's like, you know, lo and behold, I'm a powerful goddess, blah 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 blah. I shall grant you my power because I decided so. And then they get into a fight with some monsters, and the rest of the episode they fight. And then there's a reveal why he got sentenced to be a hero. And it's a whole important thing, and that's how the episode 1 ends. This is all I know about this show. Animation, very good. Music was fine. I don't remember it that well. But the first episode was so tiring to watch. Like, my god. My god. It was a struggle to follow, not gonna lie. Because, you know, first... we start off with action sequence where they're like fighting. Our hero has his I don't even know who the guy was for him, but he's also like kind of like his side character, you know, his support kind of a character who has great vision or something like that. And the first fight was fine. It was like dynamic, it brought us the characters, it showed us how it's going to be an action fighting anime as well. But then we get to meet the goddess, and suddenly we're back to fighting already, and we have the entire army, and it's like, oh, we're going to help them, blah blah blah, or I have to help them because I'm a hero. I feel like the concept was good, but execution was more poor than expected before watching. Animation good, but only the beginning and the end was enjoyable. Oh, I see. You see, I'm only saying it as a person who watched the first episode, which was hour long, and like 40 minutes of this hour-long episode was a fight, only for the end to be like, oh, now we're going to drop you a backstory, even though they could have put it in between the fight to make it easier to consume. No, they decided to fight, a moment to meet the new character, more fight, and then huge reveal, which in their eyes maybe that was a smart idea to do the grand reveal by the end. For me personally, if you're already selling synopsis like that, it would have been better if they put the trial where he has been sentenced, the main protagonist has been sentenced, in between those fights, and only by the end to show like to drop the, oh, he was sentenced because of that, and that's the end of the episode, right? That's how I feel like it would have worked much better. The pacing would have been much better. It would be easier to watch it instead of just watching them keep on fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting the monsters that I personally wasn't that fond of the designs, because they looked kind of funny and unfitting for the universe. I don't know enough of the universe, but you know, I see the designs of the characters, I'm thinking fantasy setup. But then you have those characters who are kind of like neon. They weren't exactly neon-like, but they were quite colorful, like they were like gorilla-like shaped and all of that. And I was like, this is something that I would see in Madoka Magica faster than in Sentenced to be a Hero, and it kind of threw me off as well. It was bad because 1 hour, no episode, emo. Yeah. So yeah, personally, I don't think it was presenting itself bad. It was just structured bad, unfortunately. I gotta say, I don't really vibe with goddess characters who feel like I'm almighty and powerful and I'm granting you my powers, but you need to take care of me. Kind of shit. I'm not a fan of that. I don't like those kind of characters. They annoy me. The main guy, yeah, he's your typical edgy guy, but I don't mind him. I think out of all characters, I liked his backup guy the most. I don't know. I like side characters like that. He's just like, you know, a little bit sneaky, a little bit stupid, but also like smart enough to escape when he needs to escape. So I can respect those kind of characters. Goddess made me mad. Yeah, after first episode I knew that I would not like her. Then we have like badass general woman or whoever she was, being badass, you know, so like we're check marking the characters that we need to have in like fantasy kind of show, power fantasy kind of show, and she needed to be there, so you know they would have an adult woman to simp for if they did not like the lolly goddess. So yeah, that unfortunately throws me off. I don't know if it throws off anyone else, but it did personally throw me off. So who can I recommend it to? Everyone who likes aura farming anime, that's for sure. I feel like further on it may have more aura farming, I'm not sure. But yeah, if you like isekais, that's definitely also for you probably, because it has this kind of structure. I don't want to... Yeah, I feel like I'm offending this anime right now, saying for all isekai fans, but I feel like this is something that isekai fan would say peak, and maybe they would start to realize there are better anime than isekais, hopefully. Even though it's like only a small step forward, the better change. It's still a small step forward. But yeah, for all like heavy action fans, that's for you guys, which means that's not exactly for me. Moving on to... You and I are polar opposites. Japanese title. Let me get it for you because I don't... Seihantai na kimi to boku. Anime from a creator who has yet another anime this season. Woo! Crunchyroll last year voters would enjoy. Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. This anime is about a girl called Suzuki, who falls in love with guy who's sitting next to her in class, Tani-kun, who is exact opposite of her, just like the title suggests. How exactly is he opposite of her? Well, she is like a little bit of a gyaru girl who doesn't really study that much. I mean, she does study, but you know, she's more of an airhead, very loud, very outgoing, very social. Well, he's very awkward, closed off, barely speaks, but she falls in love with him and she decides to confess to him, and that's how they start going out together. And the entire story is about how they are working their way out to start to understand each other despite their differences, how to keep on being in this relationship, because both of them share the same feelings. It's just they don't know how exactly to walk through this relationship together. They overthink some things, they try to understand each other. Sometimes they learn how to act through other characters, sometimes they come to the conclusions on their own, and sometimes they just talk to each other to understand and to just vocalize how some things they do makes them feel. And that's fantastic. Why? Because not only we have the main couple, we have all different sets of characters. So we have this girl who, even though she's not that important, she has her own moment. We have this girl, she's the most side character out of them all, but she adds to the dynamics of the characters. We have this couple who she's like kind of unbothered, she lets everything go, while he's very much bothered and he overthinks every single thing. We have those two, which are the cutest couple actually. She's very shy, loves laughing at everything, but she barely can keep up the conversation, while he's very open. And his type of girl is, I like when a girl laughs quietly. Like, he's more happy when a girl who's usually shy and timid suddenly starts laughing because he sees it as a success. And honestly, I can relate to that. Like, I think the biggest success of a person who likes to be a comic relief to the group is when you make someone who doesn't usually laugh. So that's, I understand him. And that's her best friend, who's most, like, she's always playing a wingman and she's pushing her forwards like, do your move, girl. So all of them, and also Gazpacho is the best character actually. Unfortunately, we do not know how Gazpacho looks like, but we have Gazpacho as well, and Gazpacho is an important character. Relationships in this anime are very good written. The best rom-com that I've watched is definitely one of the best rom-coms. I gotta say, one of the best rom-coms. If you love rom-coms and you haven't seen this one, you need to catch up. Like, it's a must-watch. An absolute must-watch for everyone who loves rom-coms and loves like stories about relationships, because what this author does the best is build relationships between characters. And even though we have couples, we also have side characters to add up to the entire dynamic of those couples, and they help them out understand the other. So none of the characters feel like they're useless. You could say this blonde girl is kind of useless, but she brings out like random comic reliefs that you didn't know you needed once in a while. This anime made me root for Nishi Yamada to Taira Asu. I think, okay, they're the most solid couple and I love them. And then they are the cutest couple and I love them. But this couple, they're slow burn. And honestly, I like their personalities the most of them all. So like, I want to see. But because they already announced that there's going to be sequel, I'm not going to read manga and I'm going to wait for the anime to see how they will get together. Because honestly, I feel like they immediately got together, so obviously their focus is to see how to handle a relationship. This couple is extremely wholesome, so you just see how she's trying to be more forward while he's trying not to scare her off too much. But this couple, oh, they're a mystery. I need to watch it. Then I absolutely encourage you, Shipsin, to watch it. I know you were like, oh, it's going to be like Yano, it's going to be like Yano. Absolutely not. Yano-kun was focused on Yano specifically. We had other characters, they jumped here and there, but they weren't that important. And here, you have 3 different couples, and even though they're couples, like for example those two, she has her own issues, he has his own issues from the past. So that's what makes it fun. Every couple brings a little bit of a different flavor to this anime, and that's why I love it. And also Gazpacho. Also Gazpacho. I think everyone who watched it is like a huge fan of Gazpacho. Absolutely amazing. One of the best anime of the last season. I would recommend it to anyone because I feel like rom-coms, anyone can watch a rom-com and enjoy it. So do watch it. Highly recommend it. Moving on to, oh my god, Fate Strange Fake. So this was an anime that somebody, once again, I'm sorry, I'm so bad at memorizing who told me what. Somebody told me that I can watch this Fate without watching previous Fates. And technically, you know, they're probably right. But I was confused watching the entire thing. Don't get me wrong, the animation, amazing. Opening and ending, I love it. And it was like, the fight scenes, fun to watch. But I don't know what was going on. I don't know what was going on the entire time. Like, I know they're fighting for some kind of grail. But why are they fighting? I have no clue. What are they getting when they get this grail? I have no clue. What is this grail even? I don't know. You have like different kind of fractions who try to like, you know, they're allies and they form alliances, but I don't know what's going on. They kind of solve the mystery that I didn't even know was a mystery. I'm like, what's going on? I don't know. I have no clue. I'm so freaking lost. And you know, I told it to my sister who watched one of the older Fate anime series, and she was like, yeah, no, that's your usual experience with Fate. I'm like, what? Why are people so excited about it then? It's like, I don't know if it's if Fate is all about, oh well, you need to watch it all and then you need to watch like 10-hour long video about how it all makes sense because there was like one autistic guy who sat down and tried to put it all together with like game lore and all of that, then no thank you. I'm sorry. Like, I love mini stories around historical figures, mythology and all of that, and Fate has that, but I just don't know where it was leading. I just watched it and I was like, cool fight. Why are we doing this again? Every single episode! Every single freaking episode! I didn't know what was going on. Yeah, that's Fate. Yeah, I don't enjoy it. At least now I can talk shit about Fate's series because I watched one series, so now I have this stamp of approval to talk about it because I've watched one series. And yeah, I know what fans will do. It's like, oh, because you didn't watch this and that. I'm like, yeah, but someone from you guys, from Fate fans, told me that I can watch it without watching anything else, and I have been greatly disappointed by the lack of understanding what's going on. So yeah, would I recommend it to anyone? Yeah, to Fate fans who will probably understand what's going on, or at least pretend they understand what's going on, because they're definitely going to, you know, get excited at the fights, because I have to admit, the animation goes wild. This animation is amazing there. That's why, like, even though I didn't understand a thing, at this first half I enjoyed the fight, because like the second half is like, okay, I've seen enough of those fights. I'm getting kind of bored, like, where is the plot? Oh, and the spoiler, the plot is not there. Opening was amazing. Opening was fun. I like listening to the opening. So yeah, I highly recommend it to Fates fans. I do not recommend it to anyone who wants to start watching Fate because you won't understand shit. I'm saying it as a person who started watching this this specific season without watching anything else. So I know what I'm talking about. Then we have Golden Kamuy. What can I say? It's a must-watch anime. If you still didn't watch Golden Kamuy, go and watch it. It's the story about looking for gold, and all different kind of people look for this gold for all different kinds of reasons. It's historical, it's comedy, it's yaoi. It's not Yuri, unfortunately, because we have two little women, but it has everything it can offer you while having an amazing story. And the only bad thing about this season is that it's called the final season. So one may think, well, if it's final season, that means it's final, right? It's the ending, right? There will be nothing more, right? No! No, they decided to leave the grand finale for fucking December! And they had the audacity to call this season the final season. Hard topic, very triggering indeed. I still love Golden Kamuy, don't get me wrong, but I'm so mad at what they did to me. I had a feeling like, wait, this is like, am I misremembering how long it was? Or will they like kind of like squeeze it in? What's going on? But I didn't want to say anything because I was like, yeah, maybe they changed something or something. Or, yeah, I don't know. It's called final season, so it has to be final. It was not final though. Oh my god. I think I need to wait here to give my opinion. My opinion about Golden Kamuy will always be the same. It's my favorite anime, my favorite manga, one of my favorite fictional stories for sure. And I will always highly recommend it to anyone. And I know some people will watch it and be like, why the fuck did you recommend it to me? I know. But trust me, bro, if you did not vibe with that means we cannot be friends. Because it's peak comedy, peak story writing, peak character writing, peak everything. Peak everything. This is peak. And peak bad animation as well. Peak bad 3D animation in first season as well. I have to admit that the animation in first season, when they added 3D characters, animal characters, yeah, that's embarrassing to talk about, but it's happening. I'm not afraid to admit that. But overall, it's an amazing anime, and if you still haven't watched that, you should catch up. There's not that many episodes. I mean, like, how many seasons are there? Like 4 or 5 total? Of 12 episodes each, OVAs, if you get into it. Yeah, absolutely. Pacing was lacking this season. Whoa. I don't think it was lacking. Why was it lacking for you? I think we had like a great balance of first we start peacefully, then we get into action packed, then we go peacefully, then we go back to action. I think the pacing was pretty good. But I also am going to defend Golden Kamuy ever and forever, so I am most definitely biased. So if someone is going to criticize it, I'll still say, no, I didn't have issue with that, so I don't know what you're talking about. So am I a credible source of information? Maybe not. But to be honest, in this season, most enjoyable was side story of that one soldier. Which one? Action-packed episodes were 3 in a row. Yeah, but it's only like I don't know. It's not like they were fighting 90%. Like they were fighting like one after the other. They were like running, trying to find yourself. I mean, how else are you supposed to write? Like you have a lot of characters included within the story, and all of them are doing something. If you had less action, then you will be complaining that, hey, this character was there for no reason at all. Why did we have this character? And you could say, oh, they didn't need to have this many characters. No, they had to, because they're all involved. And, you know, with the amount of people, it comes the power and the advantage on who will find the gold first, right? It's like sentenced? I don't... Nah, man, no. No, in Sentence, all the fight was like, they fought mindless creatures. No! The traumas when he acted as other guy. Oh! yeah. The backstory, I mean, the backstory. That was fun. That was fun. But that was also an important part of the story, mind you. I do not agree. It's not like Sentence at all. In Sentence, they're just like mindless fighting creatures that have no brain whatsoever. It's like a war. In there, they're trying to escape. And this is my opinion, was tiring at some point and was glad we finally had a slower pace. Yeah, but also, have in mind that Sentence to be a Hero had like one episode, one episode. And you have to watch it through it all, because you cannot really pause it. In Golden Kamuy, they had a chance to have like episodes, and then next week another episode, and next week another episode. So even though it was like action after action after action, you had like a week to process it all. I wouldn't mind watching it like, you know, consecutively, because I don't mind that at all. Also, it's a final season, even though it's not a final season, so it's hard not to have action. I feel like if it was slow-paced, it wouldn't have built up the tension. Like, me personally, I feel like even though it might have tired you, and I'm not disagreeing, if it was tiring for you, then it was tiring for you, of course. But I feel like without it, you wouldn't feel like it's getting to the final. Because, like, you know, it accumulates, so of course it has to be like that. Yes, he could have written the story different way, but the way he was writing that, and how it continues later on, I feel like it made much more sense. And then you had like a lot of break to talk it through, only to get back to action. But this action is also very split into different characters, and some of them aren't exactly fighting, they're escaping. So, I don't know, I think it's just because I really like Sapporo arc. Like, so many things are happening. I feel like even if it's like action, then they drive this stupid bottle car. For me, I don't know, maybe I kind of split action to different type of action. Because like, escape action, for me, is something different than fighting action. Because in Sentence to be a Hero, you have fighting action. In Golden Kamuy, you have action of escaping, action of fighting, action of running towards certain goal. And for me, this is like, I consider it like different elements. So I have this kind of like balance of it, even though it's like action packed, but it needs to be, because it's like action filled story. At this point of the story, it has to be like that, because it just so happens to be like that. But yeah, it's a 10 out of 10 season. It's a must-watch anime. I don't care. You're on my stream. You got to watch Golden Kamuy at some point. I will always force it down people's throat to watch Golden Kamuy, and no one will make me hate Golden Kamuy even when they trolled me like that this season. And now we have Medalist Season 2 with only 9 episodes? Was there 9 episodes or 10 episodes? Very short season, shorter than usual. And for me, 9 episodes, only 9 episodes. For me, it was great. I loved it. Beer content was epic. I feel like in comparison to season 1, it might have been a little bit less enjoyable, because only at the very beginning we are shown the competition, and then we are entering the training arc. And I know a lot of people don't really enjoy training arcs in sports anime. I personally didn't mind that. I really liked it, but I think it's because in Medalist what I care about the most is the relationship between characters. And I do love Inori's and Tsukasa's relationship as a student and teacher so much that I am really biased, but like no matter what they're doing, I'm just like, I love watching them on screen. The animation got better. The 3D animation got better. They made it way more stylized to blend into 2D. This is, I feel like, at least that's how I felt personally. And also they build up a little bit of a tension. This time we did not have Inori's antagonist, so we didn't have Hikaru that much, appearing that much. She was here and there, but very quietly. We focused more on Tsukasa and his rivalry with, what was the name of the other guy? With Jun Yodaka. Too few meet this season. Yeah, but at the same time, I feel like there was no chance for them to, because I read manga, to a certain point, I feel like there was not a chance for them to make it 12 episodes, to not stop at the awkward moments. And maybe if it was like Core 1 and Core 2 of season 2, it would have balanced each other out a little bit better. But you know, they gave them green light for only 9 episodes apparently, and like they couldn't do anything more. I still think what they've done with what they got is enjoyable. I enjoyed it. The beginning, I feel like I like the further episodes more than the beginning personally, even though the beginning starts off with the competition. I loved watching them skate, all of those girls having different kind of choreography and all of that, and seeing them caring so much about how many points will the next one get. You know, that was pretty intense, not gonna lie. 3 episodes of competition at the start was tiring for me. Car plot was definitely the car ride was probably the most how to say it, the most vibrant part of this story, because it let us like see the characters when they're not exactly skating, and that's a rarity, but how like it showed us how deep this bond already is. It was very wholesome. It's like older brother with younger sister, you know, or like it's like this kind of cool uncle with his niece or something like that, and it's so wholesome. I love it so much. But yeah, I feel like because it started off very strong with, oh, we're already going to the competition, and then only then it slowed down. It made the pacing a little bit off. But overall, I think it's still a very solid season. I would recommend it to anyone who likes sports anime, who likes ice skating, dancing kind of like theme for anime, which we don't have much of those, so we take what we get, and who likes anime that have like strong relationships built up, because I feel like what Medalist does very well is those relationships, rivalries, maybe not between all the characters, but there are core characters that have that chance to do that, to build that up, and then we have side characters who have like different relationships between others. It makes it way more enjoyable than it does watching any other sports anime. I think it's like one of the best sports anime, really, because it focuses more on feelings of characters rather than now it's training arc. No, because usually the training arc is connected to anxiety, to fear, and all of that. And that's what I love the most. Is like they focus on emotions rather than, oh, now we have to get better. You know, because then it's kind of empty and your usual training sequence for sports anime. I'm changing it to liking K-pop because of opening of Medalist, and this season Kill Owl opening was very good for me. I personally didn't like it as much. It was fine. But I do know that this song got very popular in Japan. So yeah. That was Medalist. I recommend it already. The strongest anime, which was not a sequel that season, was Journal with the Witch. Or... the title in Japanese was Ikkuniki. It's a story about an aunt and her niece whose parents died in a car accident, both of them at once, at the same time. So she takes her up to take care of her, but she's extremely introverted writer who lived all her adult life alone, and she argued with her sister to the point that didn't really have like kept any contact with each other. So this is quite awkward at the very beginning. But it's a beautiful story about finding yourself in the sudden change in life, that in the dramatic change of life. It is definitely a hidden gem of this season. The relationship, how they're written there, how humans are written in there, it feels so natural, feels so real. And nothing feels forced, even though obviously each and every moment of their life makes mostly Makia was the aunt and the girl was Asa. Makes Asa grow into her own person, and basically that's the whole theme of this show. It's like, it's a struggle. She keeps on struggling, and this struggle is what makes the whole show interesting, because even though she has friends, even though she keeps on moving forward, even though this grief is written in such an incredible way, because it's not like, oh, my parents died, now I'm going to cry. No, she needs to process what's happened because it was so sudden, and the way they made the entire show built around that so naturally, so well, made Asa question one thing after the other, makes her overthink everything, makes her sometimes selfish, sometimes very bratty, childish. She's still a middle schooler? No, she just started high school, right? So she's still young, right? 16, 15-year-old. and she has to deal with so many emotions building up inside of her, and half of them she doesn't even understand. And then we have Makio who learns to understand herself after so many years, but still have those changes in life, still decides to do different kind of things. I don't know what to tell you. It's one of the most beautiful stories you can watch. Genuinely, till the end. I teared up by the end. I think it was like a very beautiful closing of the story. I like how side stories were treated. Like, they didn't close them off. They didn't try to connect them too much. Showing that everyone has their own struggles, everyone leads their own lives, and they have to deal with it. And it's not like you ever stop dealing with it. You need to keep on going. And even though some people may think, oh, but this one was never mentioned later on, or this one was not resolved exactly, this is a part of the show. It doesn't want to end certain things because this is how the life works. Asa was a brat at first, and episode after episode she was better and better. I feel like she was better and better, but then she had her moments where she once again acted like a brat, but it was like you could understand why she's acting like that. You could understand her frustrations, where they are coming from. So you didn't really feel like like her actions are mindless. Makio, her friend's ex-partner, very good from the beginning till the end. Absolutely. I feel like a lot of people can relate more to Makio because obviously Asa is going through a very specific dramatic moment that not many can relate to, but you can see her change as like accepting the change is also like very relatable in a way. And Makio on the other hand is like very stable character who you can relate to from the beginning till the end. So that's the difference. And I very much relate to a lot of what Makio was going through. So absolutely, it's very solid anime from the beginning till the end. I loved every single episode. I loved every single character. I think all of them had their roles to fulfill. Asa's friend, I loved how complex Asa's friend was because like at first we see her as like very worrying. She feels bad for like the things she did wrong to Asa, but then she's also acting quite selfish and doesn't want to say what's going on in her life. But also you can understand that because of the fear of not being understood, because Asa is not exactly that much of an understanding character either. Well, which is understandable because they're only teenagers, young teenagers. So of course they're like lost in what they're supposed to do in life. It's a beautiful story. What more can I say? What more can I say? It's amazing. It's an amazing story. I love that. I recommend it to everyone to watch it. I know a lot of people don't like slice of life, but even if you start watching it and you think that's not for me, I would at least recommend you to check it out. You know, even if you won't end up watching it entirely because it's not your vibe or something like that, you don't like serious topics, I would still recommend you to at least check it out. Give it a try, because it's one of the most beautiful stories from the anime that I've seen. And it goes very simple. Maki is a good character. I can relate to her a lot. She tells me a lot of things I would just keep to myself. Oh no, I used to be very much closed off, but I feel like after years I learned to be more like Makio in many cases. Although she has good taste in movies, so that's another thing. And then the last thing we have is Sousou no Frieren Season 2. Absolute must watch. What are you doing? If you say Frieren is overrated, you don't know shit about anime. It's a beautiful, beautiful story about how the time passes and how it passes differently for everyone. What can I say? If you don't know about anything about Frieren, where are you living? Because everyone literally talked about Frieren. I think the second season is still very solid. I like how Stark gets a little bit more of time, because I feel like on second half of first season of Frieren, Stark doesn't get that much of a time, which is a shame for me. I mean, I liked second part of Frieren's first season. It's just that I'm a huge Stark fan, and whenever I see Stark, my face like immediately gets I immediately get a smile on my face, because I just love him so much. So to see him get a little bit more time this season was fun. I feel like every single episode was very, very nice. I loved the action sequences. The animation is still peak. The soundtrack is still peak. The opening and ending are better than from the last season, I gotta say. Oh man, it was just beautiful, and I feel so bad that we only got 10 episodes this time. But I do understand that the manga is not finished yet, so they don't want to rush too much. And if I'm going to get a high quality each time, I will accept those 10 episodes every few years. I don't care. Just give me more Frieren after you're done making it peak. Again, I love it. I don't think it dropped in quality. I don't think it dropped in enjoyment. I think it's still building up more and more into the relationship between the characters. I love that, and I don't know, what more can I tell you? The story about Frieren, the elf who used to be in the hero party, and now she's once again forming a hero party to go to see heaven or something like that, people from heaven or something like that. So yeah, absolutely beautiful story, must watch. Season 1 was just another world? What do you mean season 1 was just another world? P. I don't get it. I don't get it. I would not agree with better opening, but everything else, I agree. No, I'm in love with this opening. I gotta say, no, for me, it was one of the best songs of the season. I think the only better thing was Golden Kamuy, and that's also a very biased thing to say for me, I know. But I feel like I listened more to Frieren's opening. Frieren season 1? What do you mean another world, though? You mean that they were in different land, part of the world, because they moved to northern regions or somewhere else? This is what you mean? I don't really get it. Well, but that was the last one of our anime. So I hope I somehow helped you out choose an anime to watch if you haven't caught up or anything, or I don't know, like watch Golden Kamuy. Final season will be there in December, so you have a few months to catch up to it, you know. You can start watching it so you get to the end while the last season will start coming out. So, you know, better moment than ever. I mean, it was absolutely peak quality. Oh, that's what it's out of another world. That's what you meant. Okay, I'm sorry. I didn't understand that. I listened to the story of us, the ending song, like 100 times. Oh, I love the ending as well. I loved it. The songs were so good. Holy crap, I loved it. But yeah, I think that's it for today. We squeezed ourselves in a little bit above. Well, technically it's like equal 2 hours because like I started after 5 minutes as always. So I hope you enjoyed that season, or if you haven't seen everything and now I gave you some recommendations, you know what to catch up on, or maybe you have nothing to catch up on, nothing got you interested, that's fine as well. I hope you'll be enjoying this season because there's so many good anime this season that are coming out that honestly is very hard to keep up with everything. I'm trying my best though. So have a nice week, guys. Next stream maybe on Wednesday, I'm not sure yet. Definitely on Thursday though. On Thursday 100% we're going to draw another Oshi of mine. So yeah, if you want to talk a little bit, maybe we can talk more about this season that's coming out right now, what you're enjoying. Then, and until then, have a nice one. Shout out to producer for Frieren Chin in episode 2, season 2, exactly. And with that, we're finishing today's stream. Once again, thank you so much. And